Hello everybody, how are you today? Today we'll learn chapter 4 function. We'll talk about introduction, built-in 69 functions in Python, define function and its characteristics, and talk about Python standard library, random number generation, and some math module functions. Also, we'll talk about arbitrary arguments list, methods, and scope rules. And we look deeper look at the import statement. Okay. Our experience has shown that the best way to develop and maintain a large program is to construct it from smaller, more manageable pieces. This technique is called divide and conquer. In Arabic, بالبرمجة بشكل عام بحيلا لغة برمجة لتحل مشكلة كبيرة بحيلا بروبلم عم تواجهك لتعمل الجوريزم وفي مشاكل كبيرة ما بنقدر نحلها at once as big problem. We must لازم نشقفها نصغرها لسمول سب بروجرامز او سب موديولز او سب الجوريزم. اوكي بس نصغرها كل سب بروجرام بنحله بحاله then نجمعهم مع بعض لتنحل معنا مشكله البروبلم اللي عم نواجهها. هذا الشيء اسمه divide and conquer algorithm. Okay, please mute. Using existing functions as building blocks for creating new programs is a key aspect of software reusability. يعني in Arabic لما نستعمل built-in functions, existing functions in whatever program language, in C, C++, Java or Python, as building blocks like puzzle. لما يكون عندنا problem كبير ونجمعها بfunctions جاهزين هذا شيء أفضل وأسرع للسوفت وير نرجع نستعمل. Packaging code as a function allows you to execute it from various locations in your program just by calling the function rather than duplicating the possibly lengthy code. إذا في عندنا نحن موضوع معين أو sub program معين أو كود معين بدنا نعمل له repetition in our code or our program حتى ما نعيده مرة واثنين وثلاثة ويعبي أسطر ما له عازة. فكرمال هيك بنعمل function بس بدنا نعوز هذا الاوتبوت من هالفانكشن او هيدا السب كود سب بلوك اوف كودز او بادي اوف كودز 10 اسطر 5 اسطر اللي هن بنحطهم بفانكشنز وبس بدنا اياهم حتى ما نكرر العمليه بنعمل لهم كولينج بنسميهم فانكشنز. اوكي so function is a block of organized reusable code that it used to perform a single related action. Function provides better modularity for your application and a high degree of code reusing. Functions are not run in a program until they are called in a program. إذا نحن كاتبين function بالبروجرام تبعنا الكومبايلر أو الانتربريتر بايثون أو كومبايلر C++ جافا or interpreter بايثون إذا نحن كاتبين functions ما حيمروا عليه بيقطع عنا. اذا احنا كاتبين بلوك اوف فانكشنز بيقطع عنا بفوت عليهم فقط لما نعوزهم نحن بضمن الكود. اذا عملنا لهم كولينج بفوت عليهم، اذا ما عملنا لهم كولينج ما بفوت عليهم. اوكي هذا ادفانتج. Python gives you many built-in functions but you can also create your own functions بنسميهم user defined functions. Now we'll talk about built-in 69 functions. This link, okay, you can visit this link in python.org and press every function here there is a lot of examples and descriptions. For now, we took type function, built-in function called type, gives us what is the type of the variable, integer or float or character. Also, we make int conversion, integer conversion. Okay, we took this. Also, float conversion to convert from from character or integer to float. Also, we took input data and output data with the print. We use range function in for loop, and we make some examples in maximum, max, and minimum in the list or subset. Now, today we'll talk about bin, oct, hex. These three built-in functions will convert from decimal to binary, oct from decimal to octal, hex from decimal to hexadecimal number. Also, we'll talk about char, and the strings, length of the string, or slice of set, power, built-in function power, and round the number, sum, a list or subset, sorted, a list or set. Okay? So, first we'll begin with bin, oct, hex. Bin x convert integer or decimal number to a binary string prefixed with 0b. Oct x convert from integer to octal strings begin with 0o, small o. Hexadecimal also convert to lowercase hexadecimal starting by 0x. Example here. The same decimal number, 235, if we put it inside bin, will give us 0b, which means it's binary, 1110111. Or if we put it in oct, 0o, which say that it's octal number, 353. Also in hexadecimal, 0x, x means hexadecimal, lowercase eb. Okay? Okay. Char and string. Char, CHR, returns a string representing a character whose Unicode font is the integer I. We'll see example. String, convert a number to a string. Example. If we put char 235, will give us a letter E in Germany, E double point, E in Germany. It's char 235. It's like a pointer in the memory. It's like a ASCII code or a pointer. A char will give you the characters in the keyboard. Whereas string 235 will convert the number to string only. Okay? Len, slice. Len x returns the length of the number of items of an object. This object can be set or list or anything. This variable x, we can put it between brackets, start, colon, stop, colon, step. It's optional here. These are optional. Returns a slice object representing the set of indices specified by range. Example. Look here. If we define variable s, its string, equal, between quotation, welcome space to space COMP215. So length of s, it will be equal to 18. As you can see, 18 character includes the two space here. So the space, it count. We count the space here. Okay? If we count only the characters, the letters here, it's only 16. Okay, plus 2 spaces, 18. So space is counted in lines. And we want slice, and now we will begin slice between brackets. Between brackets, when put x or variable s 0 means start in the range. Start its 0 location, which is w. S0 equal w. S1 equal e. S2 equal l, and so on. Okay. We can put S1 colon 8. Start, stop. Start, stop. Okay. Start by 1 and stop before 8. 8 minus 1. Okay. Like range here. In the range from start to stop. Stop minus 1. So we'll print S from 1 to 7. So S1 equal to E here. E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The space is included here. As you can see, we have space here and single quote. So space is counted also. So we print from 1 to 8. Optional. If you write S 2 colon 17 colon 2, this 2 will start from S2 to S16, jump by 2, increment by 2. This is a step here or here. So S2 will be equal L, S4, we have plus 2 here. S4 will be O, S6 will be E, okay, S8 will be T, S10 will be space, here space, plus 2 O, plus 2 P, plus 2, 1, and exit. Okay? Any question here? حد عنده سؤال؟ شباب صبايا حد عنده سؤال؟
لا دكتور لا.
ماشي الحال؟ Okay. Now we have pow, built-in function pow round. Pow will be, the syntax is base, comma exponential, comma optional here. We have optional modulus, mod, optional here. Return base to the power exponential. If mod is present, optional here, return base to the power exponential modulo mod. We'll see example. Round, number, and optional, comma, and digits. Returns number rounded to n digits precision after the decimal point. بالفواصل, decimal. If n digit is omitted, it returns the nearest integer to its input. يعني like rounding up, rounding down. But also we have round in the decimal part. Example, power to 5, it's 2 power to 5, 32. Optional, we can put mod, optional. Power 2, comma 5, comma 7. This 7 is mod. Will be 2 power 5, 32, divided by 7, modulo 7, divided by 7 to give us the remainder. So here will give us the remainder. 2 power 5 division modulo 7 or division by 7 give us the remainder. 32 divided by 7, 4, 28, the remainder will be 4. No, nothing for us. No commas here. Okay, just integer. Round 2.67, it's rounding up equal to 3. We can also include in the round 2.67, comma 1. So here we tell the Python we want rounding up only the decimal part. So here will give us 2.7 because 1 digit. We want here 1 digit, rounding up these 2 digits to 1 digit, decimal digits, float number. So 2.7. Did you get it? It's optional. This one is optional. This 7 is optional. Okay? We'll continue. Sum sorted. Sum set, if we have set, will sums the item of an iterable set or list from left to right and returns the total. The iterable items are normally numbers and the start value is not allowed to be string. We cannot sum a string number. Sorted set returns a new sorted list from the items in iterable. Example, sum, we put here between brackets, parentheses brackets, 258 is a set, okay, or list, it's set or list. Sum will sum all the items inside, 15. Oh, we want to sort the list, sorted, parentheses, also brackets, and we'll put a list number here, or set, will be sorted. Okay? Okay? Okay. Let's begin function. Function characteristics. Has a name, has parameters, arguments, parameter or arguments, 0 or more, has a doc string or commands, optional but preferred, has a body, returns something. This characteristic of any function to define: name, parameter, optional, command or this strings, optional, body, obligatory, returns something. Okay? The syntax will be def, function name, parameters, between parentheses, parameters, separated by comma, if we have several variables, column, between quotation, the strings or command, it's optional, body of the function, and return something. We have no semicolons here. We don't have braces or semicolons, only indentation blocks. Example, def space square سمينا, we name this function square, number, column. This is doc strings, triple double quotation, triple, like command. Okay, calculate the square of number. It's like command. Okay, we give this square function a number, return number power 2. Okay, number times number. When we want to call it, just write square 7 will give us 49. If we send integer, give us integer. If we send the float, like here square 2.5, also will square the float number. Also the output will be float. If the number is integer, the result will be integer. If the result is, if the number input is float, the result will be float also. Okay? Okay? This is advantage in Python. We don't have to make any type here. Number, any type of numbers, integer or float. Example 2. Function with multiple parameters. We define a function called maximum. Def maximum, parentheses, value 1, comma, value 2, comma, value 3. We must put space here, okay? Put space here. Column, optional command or doc strings returns a maximum of 3 values. Now, the body of the maximum function will be, we assume that value 1 is the maximum value. So we put max underscore value equal value 1. We assume the first element or first number is the maximum. If value 2 bigger than maximum value, column, then max value, then max value equal value 2. We don't have else here, no else. If value 3 bigger than max value, column, so the new max value equal value 3. At least, finally, return max value. Okay, we can solve this in another way. we can solve it with if else if you want. Okay, if we want, we can solve it in 3 methods. Okay, now to call this, we call the name of the function maximum and put the 3 values. So we can call it by integer numbers, like here, 12, 27, 36. Don't forget the space here, comma space, okay? Will give us a maximum number between these 3 numbers, 36. Also, we can put in the values a float number as a float number. So also will give us the maximum in the float number. Also, these values can be strings, characters, words. Also, we can write a word inside the maximum and give us the maximum word. The maximum word means the highest letter. Why it's bigger than A. Okay? Y is the biggest.
يعني convert to ASCII code شو اسمه يعني ASCII code number.
Yes. Yes. بالY you read this ASCII code. Yes. Yes. Big Y أكبر من small y. Capital letter. Sorry. Any question here? Okay. Let's continue. So, when defining a function, we don't define the type of variables, the parameters or arguments. We don't have types. So any function can get integer, float, strings. Okay, because we don't define the types of arguments or variables. Okay? Okay. Also, we can mix between. We can send the values as integers and float at the same time. 13.5 minus 3, 7. So we can merge or mix between integers and the float. But we cannot merge or mix between integer and or number and strings. Okay? Between number and strings result in error, type error. Okay? Okay. Any question? Okay, let's continue. Whereas we have built-in functions in Python, max and min. We have max between parentheses, write as you want from strings, give us strings, yellow. Or minimum, min, give any strings will give us minimum. Also, in addition, we can put maximum in the set. If we have set or list, or even inside its word itself, only one word give us the minimum characters here will be A. Or maximum here will be R. Okay? So, it's an extra function. We cannot make it in the functions before, as we hear here. Here only between 3 values. Okay? So, it's dynamic. This max and min, it's dynamic. We don't have the same number of elements or arguments as you want. You type arguments as you want here. Not like before, only 3 values. We have several values. You put 1, 2, 3, 4 as you want. It's a dynamic function. Okay? That's why no need to define a custom function if it's included in built-in functions. Don't waste your time, okay? Because built-in functions, all built-in functions are well designed and programmed, okay? You can do better, okay? So, you can't define a built-in function. Don't waste your time. Okay? Let's go in standard library. Okay. Till now, any question for this? Everything is clear? Okay.
تمام.
Let's continue. Python standard library. What is the library? It's a collection of script modules accessible to a Python program to simplify the programming process and removing the need to rewrite commonly used commands like function. They can be used by calling or importing them at the beginning of a script or a file. We have some popular Python standards here. We have here collections, library collection for data structures, dictionaries, cryptographic models for encrypting data, secure transmission, CSV like Excel, datetime, decimal, .tas, JSON for JavaScript, like Python will be like JavaScript for web services, okay? Math, also OS library to interact with operating system. We have random, we'll take an example later. We have statistics, mathematical statistics like mean, median, mode, or variance. Strings, system file. Here, tkinter, this library we'll look about later, for graphical user interface, GUI, and convex-based graphics. Okay, we'll make some games here, some application using this library, tkinter, also Turtle, and web browser. And we have a lot of libraries, okay? So, we'll start with random number generation or random library or module. Now, take a brief diversion into simulation and game playing. How? You can introduce the element of chance via the Python standard library's random module. To use built-in functions in the library called identifier of any library called module, just type .like module .identifier. Okay? Okay? We have still 10 minutes. Okay. Now, example. Rolling a 6-sided die. Let's produce 10 random integers in the range 1 to 6 to simulate rolling a 6-sided die. ذهب. Okay? بنكب الذهب. ويعطينا رقم عشوائي. 10 أرقام عشوائية. 10 randoms integers. First, we must include or import or calling the library that concern this random variables called random. So first, we import the library, import random, then we'll use it inside. So for roll in range 10 times, from 0 to 9, 10 times, print random dot range between 1 and 7. Okay? 1 and 7 will give us 6 number from 1 to 6. So use your built-in functions inside the library random. The library random has several built-in functions called identifier. So we want to get random numbers from 1 to 7. 7 minus 1, okay? Also, in Python, every range, the end range here, always minus 1. So, from 1 to 6, okay? And comma, and equal semicolon. Will give us 10 arbitrary or 10 random numbers. Okay. If we call it again, run again the same, okay, we'll get different numbers. Okay. That's because it's random number generation. 10 random number generation between 1 and 6. Okay, between 1 and 6. Okay. This is like a game. If you want to code any game or start in game like this. Okay. Now we'll learn about math functions or math module, library math. The math module or library defines functions for performing various common mathematical calculation. Example here, we have the built-in functions in the math. Okay, seal like سقف, round x to the, okay, مغلطين على فكرة. Okay, we have here there is error. Seal round x to the largest integer, not the floor round to the larger, not greater than x. Okay, okay, LB no. Okay, seal like here, seal 9.2 will give us 10. Okay, 9.2, 9.1 will give us 10. Floor, الأرض يعني أرض, will give us 9.2 or 9.9 will give us 10. Sine, cosine, tangent, exponential, log 10, pow. Here the pow similar to built-in functions, pow, square root, f absolute, float absolute value, or float modulus, floating point. Okay. Example here. Import math, import the library math. Now we want to use square root. Math dot square root, parenthesis 900, will give us float number. Here, the built-in functions in math, the output always is float. Okay. Here, the output will be float. Or math dot f absolute value minus 10 will give us plus 10. Okay. It's an example. Okay, let's continue. Default parameter value. If we define a function with fixed arguments, is with fixed argument here, define rectangle area, length equal to, comma, space, width equal to 3. We initialize the argument here. Okay, call it default values, parameter values. Commands return length times width. So if we call this function without argument, the default values will be counted. So 2 times 3 will give us 6. If we call the function with one argument, so the first one will be the length. So the length equal 10 and width still 3 will give us 30. If we call the function with 2 arguments, so 10 and 5 will replace 2 and 3. So will give us 50. Okay? Any question here?
No, doctor.
Any question? Okay, let's continue. Now, we want to arbitrary argument list, not fixed list, not like here, only 2 values or 3 values. We want to make our functions to be dynamic in parameter. You can type any variable, any number of variables or arguments as you want. So there is a syntax here called star arguments args, arguments star arguments star args. If we define our functions like here, like this example average, define average between parentheses star args, return sum args as you type it, divided by length args. So if we put 2 numbers, 2 arguments, it's correct. So we'll add it and divide by length, give us the average. If we put 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So now our function is dynamic. It's better than before. It's dynamic in arguments. You can type any argument you want. Okay? Okay. Now, also we can use this by passing a set or list individual elements as function argument, like here. If we define grades equal list, like here, or set, and use average star grades, which means all the elements of grades, here, star, all the elements of grades, okay, it will give us the float number. So the average number, sorry, the average number.
دكتور
نعم تفضل.
إذا ما حطينا ستار شو بيعطينا؟
ايه دكتور كمان بدي اسال انه اذا ما حطينا ستار ما بيعمل نفس الشيء؟
بياخد اول element بس، بياخد 88 ما بيعطيك ايرور، بياخد 88 جريدز بدل اول وحده، بدل اول وحده. اوكي، ستار جريدز معناتها all the elements. اوكي، وفيك تحط هون جريدز 0 كما جريدز 1 كما جريدز 2، فيك تقول له اول ثلاثه، يعني خذ اول ثلاثه elements تعطيهم الاندكس تبعهم، جريدز براكتس 0 كما جريدز براكتس 1 جريدز براكتس 2. اوكي، فيك تحطها هيك، وفينا نقول ستار for all elements. اوكي. Okay, methods will stop here. Okay, we'll stop here because we run out of time. We have only 1 minute. Okay, we'll continue next time. Okay, we'll stop here. Any question? Any question?
No, doctor.
I will stop the record.